When we look at them and we don't see my foot, oh God, the whole life changed. I was a madman in clean clothes. I know diabetes take over my body, and I wish this one not even to my worst enemy. Listen to what the doctor said. Rasta man, I tell him this. I heard man, they make me lose my foot. And then me fella stop take the doctor medication and I take for the medication.
In Office with Dr. Jevon Samuels.
Good day, viewers. Welcome to another episode of In Office. I am Dr. Jevon Samuels, and today we'll be discussing type 1 diabetes. And in office with me today, I have Mr. Major Mackerel, a well-known recording artist.
Yes, Major Mackerel musically, biologically, Garfield Dixon.
Good.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Thank you, sir. All right. So, as I said before, for in office, we'll discuss life, sickness, and death. And today's topic we'll be discussing type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease in which the body's immune system attacks the insulin-producing cells of the pancreas, which results in the inability of the body to reduce blood sugar. Whenever we have the body's immune system destroying the insulin-producing cells of the pancreas, the body loses its ability to move glucose from inside of the blood and into the cells. This leaves the body cells starved for energy, and normally the body cells would break down the fat stores and the glycogen store and try to produce more energy for the cells. Out of the diagnosis, whenever a patient comes in with these symptoms, which we call urinated polyuria, polydipsia, polyphagia, which is just saying feeling hungry, thirsty, urinating a lot, they would normally do a urine test to test if there's any sugar in the urine, and also we should test the blood. Now the blood test to diagnose diabetes, we normally use the oral glucose tolerance test, and that's a test if we have a blood sugar above 11.1 millimoles per liter, then it's diagnostic of diabetes. Also, any random sugar that is above 11.1 millimeters of mercury is also classified as diabetes. And if the patient have a fasting blood sugar of above 7, it's also classified as diabetes as well. We have type 1 and we have type 2 diabetes, main types, and only 10% of persons with diabetes have type 1 diabetes. And it has nothing to do with the type of diet you eat or how obese you are or your lifestyle. It's just an autoimmune disease in which the body's immune system actually attacks this insulin secreting cells of the pancreas, which then results in the body's inability to regulate the blood sugar. Risk factors: if you have a family history of type 1 diabetes, then you are at increased risk of getting type 1 diabetes. Also, it tends to be more common in persons that are further away from the equator, so mainly persons in the temperate areas have several complications. So persons can have severe cardiovascular complications, they can have a heart attack, they can have a stroke, they can also have issues with the eyes, so they can end up with diabetic retinopathy, which can lead to blindness. Some persons also develop what we call peripheral neuropathy, in which the nerves in the limbs are not functioning, they're unable to feel pain or even touch. And some may develop leg ulcers as well, right? And also diabetes can lead to kidney failure, in which persons have end-stage renal disease and have to be dialyzed. In terms of type 1 diabetes, there is no really means of preventing it. It's an autoimmune disease, so anyone can just simply the body immune system can malfunction and damage the pancreas, and hence you're unable to produce insulin. Now, my guest here, Major Mackerel, welcome once
Yes,
more.
sir. Yes, sir. Respect, sir. Good
Yeah.
evening to you,
Yes,
your staff, your crew,
yes.
everybody, you know.
Alright, thank you. At what age you were diagnosed with diabetes?
I think age 23.
Alright,
Yeah, 23,
23.
1990. You know.
1990, so that's some 30 plus years ago, 34 years ago. Okay. And what were some of the symptoms you were having at the time of diagnosis?
Well, first, I couldn't sleep at night. Second, frequent urination. Since you introduce yourself and introduce the story and the topic that we're going to be discussing today,
Yes.
within that minute and a half, 2-3 minutes, I would use the bathroom 2 times already.
2 times already?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was...
And I realized I keep wanting sweets,
You're craving for sleep?
craving for sweets. That is the only thing that tastes good.
Okay.
And the next thing, within 1 week of frequent urination, craving for sweets, my eyes them sinking on my head, I realized I lose a lot of
A
weight.
lot of weight.
Alright, because I used to weigh 260 pounds.
Yes, and then about how much weight you lost at that
Right.
time?
At that time, I would have say I lose 25-30 pounds in 1 week.
In 1 week?
Yeah.
Oh, that's significant.
But it's just, I never know what happened to me. Alright, my father, diabetic, died from it. My mother died from it. I have 3 uncles that died from it.
Sorry to hear, man. It must be traumatic.
But me never knew.
Definitely.
Because at that time, me a young Major Mackerel in studio, touring the world, mashing up the places. What is diabetes, you know?
Okay.
And I was like, no. But then, I realized me I lose weight. So, on Saturday morning, same place on Reynolds Road here.
Same place at Reynolds Road?
There was a doctor right up by Lee Supermarket,
Yeah.
across the road. His name was Dr. Smith. The building is no longer there, but there was a doctor office there.
Yes.
I went to Dr. Smith that morning, and outside was a man selling cane and jelly, oranges, and he was a fruitsman.
Yes.
And he juiced the cane. So I go so boom and order some cane juice from him.
Yes.
And I drink the cane juice. I wake up back in public hospital,
Public hospital?
Yeah.
Also you blacked out?
passed out.
Okay. And then...
So when I wake up now, I was like, what me I do so? Because when I wake up, I had tubes in my nose,
in the penis?
yeah, in
and
the
access.
penis, yeah, all access. I had a tube.
Okay.
So, we still saying, I said, what's going on? And I'm saying, Mr. Dixon, yeah, diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and we would like a family history.
Yes.
So I called my mother, she was living in Canada, she's died now, rest in power. Now that's a peace, now peace is, just rest in power.
Alright. Sorry about that. Alright.
And she talked to the doctor and tell them, and I started with insulin
Yes.
from 1990. And over the first year and a half, 2 years,
Yes.
we get comfortable with the needle.
Needles.
I could juke myself anywhere with the needle. And
Alright, so back then, sorry to cut you, but in terms of the insulin, like how often for the day you have to stick yourself with the insulin?
I had to stick myself 4 times.
4 times.
Yeah, because I use 2 different insulin.
And you know the names?
I think one was Lantos,
yes.
and one was regular.
Regular, okay. The regular is before meals and the Lantos at night. Alright.
Yeah. I take the medication, do what me I do, and eventually, after a period of time, I said, well, can't deal with this no more.
Yeah.
Too much injection.
So you had to stop taking the
So
medication?
I start taking the medication and start eating less.
Okay.
In other words, I only eat to survive. Alright?
So, but you must have been losing more weight with that method?
Yeah, man, that's when I realized that I was at Club Amazura in New York on stage,
Yes.
performing. And I don't know what happened. I wake up in
The hospital?
the hospital.
Oh.
The hospital, Jamaica Hospital, in Jamaica, Queens.
Okay.
Alright?
So what were you diagnosed with at the hospital? It was diabetic ketoacidosis, because that's one of the complications of type 1 diabetes. You know, normally they can go in diabetic coma, severe acidosis. Some persons even admit to ICU.
Yeah, you know, I never have nothing like that, or if I have it, at that time, I didn't question it.
Okay.
Alright, I don't know the abbreviation of a lot of these medical terminology,
Okay.
but I don't know, but all I know, diabetes take over my body, and I wish this one not even to my worst enemy.
Okay.
This diabetes is a silent assassin.
Yeah, you can just imagine. Now, I know that you're an entertainer, so you tend to be like traveling from city to city, country to country, and you would have to be having the insulin and fridge or ice. So how did that process? You were able to take it whenever you're going to...
When I'm, for example, if I'm leaving Jamaica, I go to the doctor, and the right officer, patient Garfield Dixon, he's diabetic, he's under my care.
Okay.
And they give me the medication to travel with.
Okay.
So you pass custom, you pass immigration, you're alright, but when you reach a custom want to know where you have. And so the letter verifies say that I am sick, insulin dependent.
Okay.
And I don't know, you know, if it was my lack of attention, but I know people that start with insulin and end up with tablet.
Okay.
I stay with insulin.
Alright, the thing is that sometimes some persons, when they're diagnosed initially, they probably think it was type 1, but sometimes it's type 2. But normally type 1 patients, because the pancreas is normally damaged and not producing any insulin whatsoever, you have to be dependent on insulin, dietary changes and exercise. So tell us about like some of, if you have any exercise regime or dietary changes that you take.
I'm gonna be real with you. On the dietary part, the only thing I don't do is eat nothing that come out of the fridge.
So you don't eat any...
Nothing. As long as it go in the fridge, I don't want. The only thing I use out that's in the fridge is the insulin.
Okay.
And
but say eat meat or don't eat meat? I
have to eat meat.
You have to eat meat?
Yeah, I have to. I need the protein. I never used to do it.
Okay.
I'm a Rasta man, and you know, one time I was very religious.
Yes.
When I'm saying religious, I mean very, very religious, that I think doctors was butchers, that I didn't think that them teach you.
Okay.
And burn out the doctor, and burn out this, and burn out that. And it's a big joke.
So how did you develop that belief? Is that the person that you had lived with have similar belief that...
Yeah, I was around some Rasta man in New York City.
Yes.
And you know our philosophy is repatriation back to Africa.
Yes.
And that was my intention, my focus, till the guy, a brethren of mine that lead the house, he gets sick.
Okay.
And I get sick.
Yes.
They give me roots and they take him to the doctor.
Really?
So I said, no sir, I go to the doctor, go check it out for the first time.
Alright, so tell me that story straight. So the leader for the house.
Yeah.
So when you are sick, they give you roots.
And give you roots, and so the roots will take down the blood sugar, and the one will stable.
Okay, so they have the roots for take it down and stabilize it.
It.
But when he took
When
sick,
he took sick, they take him to the medical doctor.
so they didn't try with the roots.
So I asked them if the roots only work for me, and the roots never work for the man.
Okay.
His name is Bongo Blackheart.
Okay. Alright.
Alright? And I have to go to the doctor, and the doctor looked at me and said, Mr. Dixon, you're anemic.
Your blood count was low.
Your blood count low. You don't have no protein, no iron in you. Alright? And so you have two choices. Continue and have a short life. Or you have to start eat something with protein, with blood in it.
Blood, okay.
I don't eat pork. And I don't eat cow.
Cool.
So I end up with chicken and fish.
Okay. Alright.
Or anything from the sea.
Alright. So in terms of the exercise now, you have an exercise, you had an exercise?
No, not then. I don't have an exercise routine. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people tell lie. I'm not gonna tell no lie. I don't have an exercise routine. I do not exercise. I don't work out. But when I do exercise in the studio,
okay.
I do a lot of dumb play for daytime.
Okay.
And so I sweat a lot.
Okay.
And what about that sweat? It's not like I'm running or I'm walking.
Yes.
I'm standing one place, DJing on the mic, and I develop a natural sweat.
Okay.
Which is really helped me a lot. You know?
Okay. Alright, they're active. Now, in terms of like relationship wise, know that sometimes some persons that are sick tend to have issues with relationship, like the partner, probably not so cooperative.
I never tell the world, you know. I never lie to the world. But they are 80%, you know, 100. Failure is not my option, and I don't reach failure yet. But where I would like to be, I am not there.
Okay.
Alright, I'm 34 years taking 4 injections for like 15 or 20 years. No, for like 25 years, and after that, they dropped it down to 2 injections.
2 injections
Per day.
Okay. So you also test you have a blood glucose?
Yeah, I have a blood glucose machine will test my sugar. I don't test it every day. For example, this morning I didn't test it.
Okay.
Alright, but I have diabetes so long that my mouth give me a taste like when it's high, when it's low.
Okay.
And my body give me the symptoms. When they start talk to you and you look, you see sweat start coming.
Okay.
That means it's low.
Okay, good.
Alright? When it's too high, you have to go walk around the block 2 or 3 times and bring it down back a little bit.
Okay, so you get to understand it.
But understand it a little bit. I don't understand it fully. But all I am telling you is that I don't wish this thing on nobody.
No, understandable. Alright, next thing I want to ask you about, since you have been overseas for probably half of your life, or more than half of your life, and me in Jamaica, so you would have a comparison of first world healthcare versus third world healthcare.
Well, the first world healthcare is more advanced than the third world healthcare. For as you know, you live in Jamaica. the people of Jamaica,
Yes.
we are the one that the young doctors train on. All right?
Yes.
So, in America, there is a lot of training doctor, but there's not that much active in the hospital.
Okay.
Like how they are active
In Jamaica.
in Jamaica.
Okay.
And one of the reasons for that is because Jamaica as one of the hub, one of the schools that teach, UE,
Yes.
UWI, they teach you how to be a medical doctor in
Yes.
Jamaica from scratch.
Yes.
So the training doctors, you know, sometimes people have problem with the training doctor because there's a lot of training
An experience, yes.
and experience. But the reality of this situation is that, you know, you have to creep before you walk. You have to before you talk.
Yeah, that's true.
And, you know, so, but in terms of the medical, there's advanced medical in the foreign system.
So give me an example. Like they have, I know they have like the insulin pump that they attach to, but have you ever used that before?
No,
Yes.
I just take the needle. I get used to the needle now that it's in my car outside.
Okay.
All right?
I know that in America they're doing like even pancreas transplant.
Yeah.
You ever introduced to that surgery?
They offered me something like that, you know. I tell them, say, you know, me are not cheating. All right? But eventually, right now, this is a prosthetic leg, you know.
Yes.
I lost my leg through diabetes, poor circulation, no blood going in there because a lot of people don't know this. Your heart pumps blood through your body.
Yes.
And the furthest point from your heart is your right foot.
Okay.
So that's the last place on your body where blood reach. So it's the first place to go by.
Okay.
If you notice, most diabetic people, they lost the right leg before.
Okay.
And that is because of the heart pumping the blood, but the right leg is the furthest point from the heart.
Okay.
So it's the last place to get blood and the first place to get back.
But alright, so you can tell us about the story behind you losing that leg.
Well, me a ninja man, you know, Major Mackerel, ninja man, my brethren, you know.
Yes.
Me and my brother and sister, but I'm me and the brother. I'm just being joyful. We was racing on Breddles Road. Because me know me could have run fast on him.
Yes.
And me and him a race. Me win the race, but me run out of my shoes.
Oh.
And something stick me in my foot bottom.
So you didn't see medical attention?
Yes, I did. But after 2 days, I see dry up and all of that. The doctors then give me 2 weeks worth of medication and I take it for 2 or 3 days.
Oh, antibiotics?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in compliance with the...
And 2 or 3 days, couldn't get better. As a matter of fact, I thought it get better.
Okay.
But then, you know...
So you weren't feeling any pain because
No
I know the
pain.
diabetes would have damaged the nerves.
Yeah, I never feel no pain in it. And I used to feel the regular diabetic sticks.
Yes.
There was a time it coming like a high speed. Somebody stick your it in your foot.
Okay.
Or somebody just screw a screwdriver in your foot. The diabetes, yeah.
Sticking.
Yeah, the sticking feeling there. And when I paid my mind, my girlfriend looked at me one day and said, Garfield, you know, see your eyes them yellow. I said, what do you mean by that? She said, the white part of your eye, them look yellow. Them not look white as what it's supposed to be.
Okay, so you didn't feel sick within
You
yourself?
never feel sick, and I'm doctor, I'm going to tell you this, because normally you're a medical doctor.
Yes.
You make plans to do surgery, right?
Yes.
I never make no plans. I just go medical associate,
Yes.
Dr. Wright, Dean Wright, draw some blood from me. I'm going to test the blood and come back and say, Mackerel, we have two options. Go home, you'll probably die or you lose the leg. Because I just going to the doctor go visiting, you know.
Yes.
Because my high and I feel good. He said my whole body poison.
Oh. So when you took that news at the time, you made a decision, you agree with the decision
No,
initially?
that's on the Wednesday night. Wednesday night right now, you know, around 7:30 right now. And the doctor said, what you decide to do? Because this test here when you see,
Yes.
I don't know what kind of test.
Okay. But you just know, say you saw something that
And he said, this test here show me so that your body is infected and it's infected through your foot.
Okay. So your foot didn't have any pus draining from it, nor like
No,
it's black,
like
or
that.
black or smell.
But you are, no. I never have no feelings in it. And the outside heal. And inside I get
Affected,
bad.
okay.
Affected bad. And because I have no feelings in it, I never know, you know. And naturally I never know.
Okay.
And then at that time, you know, I'm still young, artist, run up and down same. We still think me better than diabetes. We still think it cannot control me.
Okay.
And, you know, the doctor looked at me and said, you can either go home
or you take the leg.
take the leg.
Alright.
And I looked at him and I said, how much money for do that? And he said, in terms of money right now, I know you can't pay for it one time.
Okay.
But I want to see it though. So I will set up a plan.
Okay.
See? And set up a plan. And that was a Wednesday night. Then trying to go on
Theater.
the Thursday morning.
Okay.
And I go in on the theater the Thursday morning and I remember them hooked me up. And wake up back now around 4 o'clock Friday morning.
Yes. With one leg.
And I draw the tube out of my nose. They have a tube in my nose.
Okay.
And I pull it out back. When I look at me, I'm not seeing a foot. Oh God. The whole life changed.
Yeah.
I was a madman in clean clothes.
Okay. So which age you lose the leg?
6 years ago, you know. Six years ago.
Recently?
Yeah, recently.
Okay.
Yeah, man, for the last 5 years, you know, it's like I was just floating and thin here, you know.
Okay.
But it eventually, I learned to accept that it's not gonna go back.
Okay.
And I learned two things. It's not gonna go back, and I will not be the same major mackerel on stage with a mic in my hand.
Okay.
That's the only thing I know, Doc. I don't know nothing else. We try carpenter, then run me off of the work, so I'm lazy. We try construction, then the only thing me know is a mic in my hand and a audience in front of me.
Okay.
And mentally, it destroyed me, manipulate my mind for 1 heap of years.
Okay.
It made me chase away some good people from around me.
Okay.
And it made me chase away some bad people from around me.
Okay.
At that time, 3-4 years ago, I was a man just living without a brain. Alright?
Okay.
And I'll tell everyone, you know, take care of yourself. And anytime a doctor look at you and say, you're diagnosed with this, take it serious.
Don't live in denial.
Because never take it serious. And I never respect the doctor the way I was supposed to respect the doctor as a Rastafarian. See, and I used to burn out the doctor and say, doctor, you know, a butcher, a human butcher. I don't want to cut up people and go in at them and do this and do that. But the reality of it is this, you know. You have the medical experience.
Yes.
I have spiritual experience. The physical always be spiritual.
Definitely.
Alright? So me are telling the people when I listen to the doctor when he talk to me. See, any complication, you don't have anything, diabetes, acid reflux, gastritis, whatever the disease is named, hypertension, blood pressure, whatever is a sickness name, just make the doctor let know and follow their protocol.
Alright. Well said, Major Market. Alright. In terms of, say, have the diabetic foot complication, the lots of them and the neuropathy, you didn't have any other complications like kidney failure, kidney issues,
none of that.
with the eyes?
Yeah, right now, I'm going to be real with you.
Yes.
My eyes are getting blurry.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Say, you've been to the ophthalmologist?
No, not yet. Alright?
But a part of the management should have been a yearly visit or at least every other year to the ophthalmologist the laser that they use. So
that is scary because when you put the laser after that, you know, a couple of people will do that and they end up blind after that.
Okay, so that's fear as well.
Me have a little fear in me for that.
Yes.
But it's something that I want to do.
Okay.
But you just have a little fear in me for it.
Alright. So recently you're still able to tour though and perform?
Yeah man, I'm still performing. You know, last night I was at Dancehall Thursday.
Okay.
Me only famous Peter Metro because that's our platform. The three of us run that platform. Only who own the platform,
yes.
Me and Peter Metro work with him.
Alright.
And you know, it don't stop me musically, physically. Sexually, I still can do what I do,
Alright.
but I'm not as good as I was.
Okay.
But I still, and realistically speaking, life is great, all right. But it's you have to make it great as a diabetic.
Okay.
And I have no kidney failure, nothing like that. I have I don't know if it's a disease they call gastritis.
Gastritis, okay.
So
still here it is, you have to take pain medication or have hospital admission?
Yeah man, in the hospital, admit.
Admit? Okay, for the gastritis.
In the hospital.
How long you normally spend in the hospital on average?
5-6 days.
5-6 days.
7 days.
They never actually done any surgery though, no surgery. No, except the limb, not on the stomach.
No, we never did no surgery. We did 2 surgeries. This at Kings County.
What had happened to your hand there?
A man attacked me with a sword, you know.
Oh, that chap you hit there.
Yeah, a man attacked me with a sword. So I did this surgery at Kings County Hospital in Brooklyn. And I did this one at Natal Hospital
here
in Jamaica.
Alright, when I was telling some of my colleagues that at the hospital about you being here, the only thing they can remember that you have a unique sound, that you are the only one that can make that sound perfect.
Yeah man, it's a old school DJ where a lot of people grow up listening to.
And then since I'm an entertainer, DJ and in office today, you want to just sing a hit song for the viewers from the past and a new song that they have?
Well, this is my first hit song, #1 song.
Yes.
Otochi dan ban kya washi champion. Otochi dan ban kya washi. Otochi dan ban duna washi champion. Otochi dan ban. Then me sing run down man, gyal run down man, nobody run down man. And then me sing another song. Miss Getty girl, I you on the man. And Miss Wanty Wa. Shaka Zulu, them favor Shaka Zulu. They looks dumb and they not get none.
Yeah, everyone know that.
Yeah.
Right? And then the new material that happens on, they can tell the viewers how they
But I now
reach
have a new song named #1 just released. And a song now preparing to release by the name of Happy Life Holiday. The real name for the song is Holiday. And I have a next song that named Happy. There's 3 songs I would like to release with the back in the studio record again.
Okay.
And you know, me feel great. Me feel good. But the reality of the whole situation, I am a man. If I do not take my insulin, life is going to fail.
Okay.
And you know, my mother died from diabetes. My father died from it. Me have a auntie right now, she has 1 leg like me.
Right leg as well?
Yeah.
Alright,
And
here.
4 of her brothers, 3 of her brothers.
Are they basic or they lose the leg? Right leg?
3 of her brothers died from diabetes.
Okay, sorry to hear, man. Right?
So it runs both sides of the family. But it's something where you can live with if you have the principle. Diabetic or being diabetic is being, how you beat it, how you live with it is a principle.
Okay.
I never have the principle.
Okay. Discipline.
The discipline to maintain the strict regulation, the dietary formation, and
Exercise.
the exercise and
Insulin.
and
Complex.
all of them things, you know, because diabetes, you know, because if you eat vegetable, exercise, no red meat, and you know, to me, avoid the fridge.
Okay, alright.
Yeah, that is something I need. Me avoid anything cold.
Alright. So just tell the viewers how they can be able to reach you for booking. Because sometimes
Well, if you want Major Macron, you can link on the famous Music Town Entertainment. See, now you can send me an email at realmajormackerel@gmail.com or catch me on Facebook, Garfield Major Mackerel Dixon. See, or you can link my manager, Mr. Campbell, 876-854-2321.
okay.
See?
Alright. Thanks very much for coming.
Well, Doctor,
Yeah.
give thanks for the time.
Yeah.
And people out there, may I beg you to listen to the doctor.
Good.
This man know what he's saying. And, you know, I messed up, alright? Because I know people with diabetes longer than me, and they are living better than me right now.
Okay.
Alright?
Alright.
It's a principle. But first and most of all, listen to Dr. Samuels.
Yeah, definitely.
They go know. Listen to him. Yeah? And when you don't have no complication, don't follow people about the bush, they do this and this do that. And the same thing with your follow and see what the bush then do. Because the man them will go bush, the man them will sell the bush, don't go to school for it. They are not educated by about bush and bush medicine. Them educate themselves, so whatever them tell themselves, that is what them believe. If them say 1 + 3 = 5, then believe say 1 + 3 = 5 and not 1 + 3 = 4. Or 1 and 3 are 13. Alright, stop following them people that say them are roots man and herb man. See, if you have a certificate for show you when you go to school feed, you can work with him. But anybody that don't have a certificate, listen to what the doctor said. Rasta man, I telling you this. And the herd man then make me lose my foot. And then me follow, stop take the doctor medication and I take for the medication. Alright? So me I beg the island people, you don't have to be like me. Diabetes cannot cure. It can be treated. And if they have the cure for it, it don't reach around the poor people section yet. Alright? This Dr. Samuels can help you. I'm not going to tell you say if you are dead, it can save your life, but it can help you live longer with it. Because they don't have no cure for it yet, and if you have a cure, we don't know. So people, love on yourself, you know, and love on yourself more than anything else in this world. And don't fight for wealth. Fight for health, and then you go for wealth. Because enough man go for wealth and don't have no health. And like butter and salt, so they melt. So me I beg on the people, take care of yourself, consult the doctor, work with him. Alright? It's a great man, well-educated young man that understands the curriculum of life, the circle of life, and the medical fields. So ladies and gentlemen out there with uncontrollable diabetes, all of who have diabetes and I drink alcohol, and I eat things they want enough to eat. It's nice for now, but when the table turn, it's going to be something different. So I beg you, Senior Garfield Dixon and me on the DJ, Major Mackerel, and me on listen to all of them years. The Pretty Looks Done, Dirty Bone, Bang Bang, Miss Getty Getty, Cocad, Lava Mouth, just to name a few of my songs. One foot me out just because we never listen to the doctor and we never follow the right protocol. So don't be a victim like me. Be a victor. Yeah? Listen to the doctor. Me a beg you. Stop follow them bushman because they don't know where they are.
Alright. Alright, Major Mackerel.
So.
Again, so for more informative content, remember to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. And you can always contact us on the information on the screen, and also Major Mackerel and share his contact information before as well. We'll also put them on the screen. And then for more informative content, we have a video coming out every week. And stay tuned, and you can free to contact us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc. for more informative contents on life, sickness, and death. Alright, thanks very much for coming again.
Respect again, doctor, and I hope you save some more life.
Thank you.
Diabetes is the silent assassin, because anytime you know you have it, it is too late. Alright? So while you have it, I beg you, just consult this of Dr. Samuels. Please.
Be sure to subscribe for more informative contents on life, sickness, and death.
First thing I do when I get up in the morning, I have my cup of tea and then I take my medication. I call hypertension the silent killer for a reason, because I did not have any physical symptom. I was officially diagnosed about 2.5 years ago. There.
Family history of hypertension?
Yes, actually both parents had hypertension.
In office with Dr. Jevon Samuels.
Hey viewers, welcome to another episode of In Office. I am Dr. Jevon Samuels. In this program we talk about life, sickness, and death. Today our guest here is Mr. Orville Haynes. Welcome to the show.
Sure, no problem.
Alright, so as usual, remember to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. And then today's topic, as I said before, is hypertension, and it's a very, very common illness. Based on a last research reading is that about 1 to 1.3 billion persons in the world have hypertension or high blood pressure. That means it's a very, 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 very common disease. Normal pressure is less than or equal to 120 for the top number, which is the systolic, and less than 80 millimeters of mercury for the diastolic, which is the lower number. So the top number 120 or less, the bottom number 80 or less millimeters of mercury, right? And normally high blood pressure is a range of values, so each have different blood pressure, but on average the top number we aim to get it below 120 for normal blood pressure. And in terms of the lower limit for the top number, which is the systolic pressure, 90 is the lower limit. So if you go below 90 for the top number, then we classify it as low blood pressure. And for the diastolic or the lower number, below 60, we classify it as low blood pressure. So in terms of hypertension, the general consensus from source to source is that any pressure which is 140 over 90 and above is classified as high blood pressure. And it's normally classified as stage 1 hypertension in that range. So 140 to 149 over 90 to 99. However, some sources such as the American Heart Association classified different stage between 120 and 129 as elevated blood pressure, right? And also you have other blood pressure range. You have stage 1, stage 2, and you also have a hypertensive crisis, which can also be classified into hypertensive emergency and hypertensive urgency. But that's more technical stuff. But whenever you have a blood pressure which is greater than 180 over 120, we normally classify it as a hypertensive crisis which needs attention. We have some risk factors which can be modified and some which we cannot modify. So some risk factors of hypertension, like family history of hypertension. We also have old age. So the older you get normal, the blood pressure increases. But we also have some lifestyle modifiable risk factors that we need to pay attention to, since those are stuff that we have control over. So like obesity. So the excessive weight, obesity, is a risk factor for hypertension. You also have sedentary lifestyle. So when a person tend to be inactive, like they just sit at home, probably watching television and sleep, they tend to be a risk factor for hypertension. And also a diet which is high in salt, and also excessive stress from maybe work or additional stuff, and also smoking is also a risk factor for hypertension. Normally hypertension is called a silent killer. So however, because of the research with the values with high blood pressure, we know from research that having a blood pressure that is elevated put you at risk of having heart disease such as stroke, heart failure, can give you diabetic, it can give hypertensive retinopathy, damage to the eyes, and can also give you a heart attack. So there are some of the illnesses that are complications of high blood pressure. So in terms of some persons with high blood pressure is wondering why, like a healthcare worker or a doctor would be forcing them to take a tablet every day when they don't have any symptoms. So these are some of the complications that we're trying to prevent, while we always encourage persons to take a tablet every day. We normally have like two classifications. It can be primary hypertension or secondary hypertension. So primary hypertension is like when persons develop hypertension but there is no obvious cause. Alright? And secondary hypertension is when we have another illness, illness that is causing the hypertension. Probably an illness that you might be familiar with is hyperthyroidism, the thyroid issue. That illness can actually cause the blood pressure to go up and actually cause high blood pressure, which one of the management in those cases would be actually to manage the thyroid issues. Now, in terms of treatment, normally the first line of treatment, if you don't have reached hypertensive crisis stage, is normally to lifestyle changes. So decrease salt intake, regular exercise, decrease stress level, and also quit smoking if the person smokes. Alright? And however, sometimes with even these lifestyle measures, we are unable to bring back the blood pressure to a normal level, and hence we have to give medication. And normally this medication, it's 1 or 2 times per day, and it's medication currently in what medication that's available, you have to take a tablet at least every day. And some persons which have severe hypertension need to take more than 1 tablet per day. Now, my guest here is waiting, so let's get into the discussion of hypertension. Now, Mr. Haynes, how long ago were you diagnosed with hypertension?
I was officially diagnosed about 2.5 years ago, thereabout.
2.5 years.
roughly, yes.
So, did you have any symptoms at the time? What had caused you to check your blood pressure? Just a random check at the health fair, or what's the case?
Well, you see, they call hypertension the silent killer for a reason, because I did not have any physical symptom.
Okay.
It's just coincidence that I had to give blood to somebody. And when I went there, apparently it's mandatory that they do a pressure test. And that's when I found out that my pressure levels were elevated. So that's when that was the first time that I realized that I had a problem.
Okay,
Yes.
so that was 2 years ago. So what
Yes.
was the reading like at the time? Can you remember? Do you remember?
I know it was close to 200, over about 100 or thereabout.
Okay, so 200 over 100.
Yes.
So that would be, the hypertensive crisis level. So
Exactly.
most likely you definitely need medication.
Right.
No, so in terms of after the diagnosis was made, what are some of the management strategies that they are trying before? Any lifestyle recommendation, or started medication instantly?
No, well, right. What I did, well, of course, when I found out what happened, I went to a physician.
Yeah.
And that's when they recommended that, well, first they advised me to do some lifestyle changes, cut out the salt, or very much low on sodium, better health management in terms of exercise and food, eat healthier food. And we tried that for a couple months. Levels were still elevated.
Okay.
So it was recommended that I went on medication from that time.
Okay. So in terms of the medication, so from when we were diagnosed until you started medication, what was the timeline we're looking at? Weeks, months?
Months, maybe about 2 or 3 months.
2 or 3 months?
Yes.
Okay, but the lifestyle changes didn't change
No.
the values?
A little bit, but nothing much. Nothing much. It really, no.
Okay. So in terms of the medication that is started, do you remember the names of the medication?
Yes, it was Thermafast and Caltech.
Okay, so amlodipine, these are the ones that they have
Yes,
today.
yes.
And-
Actually, when they originally it was a Thermafast 40
Only.
milligram, yes, and Caltech 5. But after a couple of months, and the doctor was monitoring it, it went down a little bit, but it was still not going down to normal levels. So they increased the dosage. So I'm now on Thermafast 80 and the Caltech 10. They double the volume.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. And this dosage now have the blood pressure reading, what are the readings you're getting in recent times?
Recent times I'm getting in 140s in the high and about 90 thereabout.
90 there.
Yes.
Okay, alright. No, so in terms of the management, what are some of the blood tests,
Yes.
ECG, any other?
Yes, I did some blood tests and ECG. All those were recommended by the doctor, and those were them. Yes.
Okay, and they were all normal, so didn't see any sign of any kidney issues?
No,
Kidney problem,
no.
or the ECG, any sign of any heart
No,
issue?
no, nothing.
Okay. So I know that for my patients, sometimes they find it hard to remember to take their medication every day, because every day, luckily you're on medication that you take once per day.
Once per day.
Some persons are on medication that have to take 2 times per day or 3 times per day. So that's some of the strategies that they use to remember to take their medications every day.
Well, it was a challenge for me originally, but what I did, because sometimes I find myself skipping some of the days because I just forget. It's not something that you're used to. So, but what I found that worked for me personally is that the first thing I do when I get up in the morning, I have my cup of tea and then I take my medication. I try to do that the first thing so that I don't forget, because normally, what I normally do is I get up and I say, okay, later in the day I'll take it. And then sometimes the activities in the day, you completely forget about it.
Okay.
So I've now made it my first thing I do in the morning, I just take the medication first thing. So that has helped me to kind of, be consistent.
Completely. Additional tests. They didn't do any additional tests like to ultrasound of the kidneys or
No.
but the blood works are tests for the thyroid and so on.
Right, those were normal.
Imaging was not like ultrasound.
No.
Okay. Alright. So in terms of the risk factors that I mentioned earlier in the presentation. So you have a family history of hypertension?
Yes, actually, both parents had hypertension. My mother, she had to be taking her tablets, I think, twice per day.
That's right.
Yes, her levels are very much elevated.
Elevated. All right. And you're familiar with the complications of high blood pressure and why we need to take the tablets every day?
Yes, well, actually, my mom, it was so bad that she got a stroke. She got 2 strokes.
Oh, sorry to hear.
Yeah, she's much better now, but it was scary for a little time here. So I'm very much aware of the consequences.
Have like any symptoms such as shortness of breath, chest pain, headaches?
Yes, but it has not really affected me because it's not constant. But I have had on occasion chest pains and headaches. But to be honest, it has not really affected me that badly where I like have to stay in or I have to stay in the bed. But occasionally, I have noticed that I encounter some chest pains and a throbbing pain in the back of the head sometimes.
Okay.
Yes, I have noticed that.
So in terms of lifestyle modification, let's say they are tried first. It's an ongoing thing for you, know?
Yes.
So you
Definitely.
decrease your salt intake.
Yes.
So another thing I want to ask you, how do you manage to decrease your salt intake and the food still like tasty?
That was a challenge. But what happened is that my mom actually, the doctor had recommended, I think it named sea salt or something like that, a special type of salt.
Yes.
That is it's still salt, but the potency is much less. So that has helped me somewhat. And I have actually, my taste buds have got a little bit acclimatized to this. So it's not a challenge, but it's not so bad.
Okay, so in terms of the exercise, did you have started exercise or your job is active where you're open?
Yeah, that was a challenge also. It was a challenge.
Okay.
Because of my job. I have to be active up and over. But what has happened recently, just recently, a couple of days ago, I've joined one of the gym that open 24/7.
Okay.
So in the nights come on,
Okay,
yes,
exercise.
yes.
All right. And also, what about the stress level? And a certain type of job that you do, if it's stressful,
It is.
very stressful.
It is. And that was something that the doctor had also recommended, that I have to manage my stress levels. So it's a work in progress,
Okay.
but I'm getting there.
I want to like touch on the topic of like if it affects the relationship. Because I know that some illness I found out recently, even like sickle cell person, they say like there's still some stigma associated with some illness, which I wouldn't really think that stigma would have been attached to those illnesses. But in terms of like, for example, your partner, is she like understanding with you taking medication every day?
Well, it's not a problem. Well, the good thing for me is that I live alone, so I don't live full time with somebody. But it's not a problem. Fortunately for me, no problem there.
Okay. Do you like worry about the complications, or you just take it one day at a time and just live?
Yeah, I take it one day at a time. I don't really because it's very common. A lot of persons, it's not like something that is rare. So. And I know that it's manageable.
Okay.
If I stick to a proper lifestyle and reduce my sodium intake and stress levels, I'm sure that it should be a problem.
Taking the medication, right?
Along with taking the medication.
Yes, one additional stuff, the weight loss. All right. Do you consider a weight loss program as well, or?
It's probably one of the biggest factors that I'm working on right now.
Okay, weight loss.
Definitely.
Okay.
And that has contributed to, because of my sedentary lifestyle, especially since COVID.
Yes.
Yes, it has really affected me. Okay. So I realize that that's another thing that I need to lose extra pounds, and I'm sure that will help.
Part of the management of persons with hypertension is normal for them to see the ophthalmologist, that's the eye specialist. Have you actually got a referral to go and see the ophthalmologist?
No, I did not get a referral. But I noticed that my eyesight, it was slightly affected. But when I went a couple of months ago, and it wasn't terribly bad. It's not perfect, but it's manageable. I don't have to. I can operate fully without my glasses, but you know it's much better. But it's not that bad.
Okay, and also what about dietitian? Dietitian. Were you referred to actually seeing a dietitian to help you with the meal planning?
No, I have not.
Okay, so those are two aspects of the management that can still be worked on, but you need to see ophthalmologist and also the dietitian. Even though we talk about that they change the type of salt, they decrease the salt intake, but sometimes it's good to let the specialists in the field actually help you with the management. Alright?
One thing.
And as I said before, this program is to just discuss illness and how it affects social life and see if persons in need. So I'm seeing here that you get your medication privately. So it seems like your job can afford it. So I can give you one or 2 minutes to just advertise the business that you do. So the viewers can share your number with them as well. No problem to the viewers. Go ahead.
Well, sure. My business, we're an IT company. We sell and repair computers and also networking, the website design and everything like that. The website, and I'm sure you put it in the description,
Yes.
the website is actually techtopiaja.com, techtopiaja.com, and we're on Facebook and Instagram, techtopiaja. That's where we are. And the address, of course, is 12 Whitehall Avenue, Kingston Gate.
Okay, that's it. Alright, good. So thank you very much again, viewers, for tuning into our channel. So also always remember to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. And remember that you can contact the information on the screen. So if you need any additional information about hypertension, you can always contact us with the details on the screen of you. So until next episode, stay safe.
Be sure to subscribe for more informative content on life, sickness, and death.